Hey, welcome to Straight to the Point, completely off topic. How you doing, Nubz?
I'm doing great.
You hear that in my voice? How I don't some reason I know the name of my podcast every other time, but there's a little pause because I'm for some reason I'm just sure I'm going to mess it up. I
Well,
got it right.
I think you're doing great.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing better. Better than I was the other day.
What was going on?
I kind of broke my middle knuckle.
Nubs broke his knuckle. You ain't got so many of them left. They call you
I
Nubs
know.
for a reason, right?
Yeah.
How'd you lost your finger at one point, right?
I did lose my finger at one point. 2008, I had a tumor in my finger that was pretty much going to take my life, and it was finger of life. So I had to get rid of my finger. Yeah.
Which hand's that on?
I got my ring finger on my left hand.
And you're a guitarist. So
Correct.
Is that an important finger for you?
It's pretty important, but I had to relearn pretty much everything I wrote and learned. Yeah.
You play a right-handed guitar then?
Yep.
Okay, right on. So it's just power chords anyways. Just play power chords. You can just have your fourth member of the band fill in for the things that you can't hit, right?
Yeah.
Which actually we should talk about. The band's name is Lines of Loyalty.
Yep.
They're a top 40 band. Am I wrong?
Yeah, we just hit top 40 in the nation on the media-based active rock charts, and we hit number 39. So we were in the top 40 for sure.
Fuck yeah, no, we're number 39. Fuck about 40 now. We'll keep every one of them. We're the top 39.
Yeah.
That has got to be a long, I'm guessing, right? You didn't just start this a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, this has been something I've been doing my whole life. I mean, outside of tattooing, like music's really been my passion. And I've been in a lot of bands, but the group of guys I'm with now, we've been together for about 7 years, maybe a little longer. We were a different name. The band name was different before. It was called Mixed Company. And it wasn't even our band. None of us were the original members. We actually took over the band, kept the name, licensed it. And then we were like, you know what? Let's make something our own. So the three of us, it's just us three. It's me on vocals and guitar. My bass player does vocals, bass, and keyboard. And then my drummer does drums. So like, it's literally just three of us. And we rebranded and renamed it not too long ago here and became Lines of Loyalty.
Is there any plans of adding a fourth?
I mean, maybe. I mean, there's no and I'm not going to say no because it could happen. Right. We do have a really good guitar tech. Our buddy Ethan, he's a great kid, man. He's a good dude, and he helps me with all my shit, and he learned all our songs. So like, if we ever needed someone to fill in or do anything, I'm sure he can do more than that, you know. So
if this knuckle were to break, then you could still provide vocals, and he could play for you.
Exactly. Yep.
I guess the whole reason I ask is just not even to ask. Actually, I really just wanted to set up. You guys sound very polished. I was amazed that it was a 3-piece band.
Thank you. Yeah, we worked really hard on that, man, and finding our sound over the past couple of years and really developing who we wanted to be. You know, because we used to play like kind of like classic rock, almost like classic pop rock. Like, I don't know.
As your former band name, you did.
Yeah, and like the stuff we're doing now is more like new metal and more modern rock. That's on most stuff nowadays too. So,
give me an idea of your old set list then of the classics.
Something. I mean, like our old stuff was more along the lines of stuff like Buck Cherry and like that style. You know, like more that like cock rock almost.
Okay.
And then now the stuff we're doing now is just really more modern and just like, you know, a lot of kind of what's out there right now. I mean, there's a little bit of hip hop-ish stuff in there and a lot of flow, but there's a lot of like just the heavier riffs and the drop tuning, like our tuning is way lower now and stuff. And it's just a lot more diverse.
Last time I talked, did you know who Tony Iommi is? I'm guessing.
Yep.
For Black Sabbath.
He's got three, the tips of his fingers are cut off.
Okay, right on. I was wondering if you were aware of that and if you were planning on making a prosthetic of some sort like you did.
I thought about it. I thought about making a prosthetic and getting a fake finger for it and fucking around.
What part? It must be the whole. How much of the finger's gone?
Pretty much all of it. It's literally so if you were to take your finger from your nail and make it go away all the way that middle knuckle and get rid of that middle knuckle, and then from there down is what I have. I have no knuckles.
Permanent shocker.
Permanent shocker. Perma shocker. Yep.
And then but that again, not such a problem, I guess, because you're well, no, I guess it could be a huge problem.
I mean,
it would be better on your right hand. I guess the only problem
would.
that's not there is you don't give people the creepy finger when you shake their hand.
Yeah. Because I got a good firm right-handed handshake. So
they have no idea.
Yeah.
If you're an amputee, my brother's amputated. He's got his thumb gone. And it's on his right hand, and he's got to warn people sometimes. I tell him at least. I don't know if he always does. Hey, dude, you got to warn people about that. He's going with that. You feel that funny nub, like whoa. Moving on. Top 40 hit.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, it's not just, it's big, but it shows where you're going as well, right? In your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I want to my goal, I mean, I believe I've already made it, but I have goals. Everyone's got a goal, and
what's your goal?
One of my biggest goals was to be on the radio and, to perform on the radio and have people hear my music everywhere. And I fucking did it,
right on.
I made that happen.
And does it pay like we all imagine it?
No.
Are you rich beyond your wildest imagination?
I do not make a lot of money as people would think I do and think my career is all fun and I get to travel and it must be amazing. Well, it is amazing to see all the cool places and play the big venues and meet people and, even with tattooing, but it's a lot of money to do what I do, to travel and I mean, gas and food and flights and hotels and all. I mean, you know how it goes.
Well, that's for tattooing, but you're traveling with I'm guessing a tour bus of some sort.
Yep. We got a tour bus, which is a lot of gas, and it's big bus, and takes a lot of gas, a lot of maintenance. We built our own bunks in it. We each have a bunk in our bus, which is awesome.
What year bus is this? Give me an idea of length, maybe even. Give me some dimensions.
I want to say it's like a short bus. But it's white.
You guys ride this short bus.
Yeah, and it's white, and it's got a lift on it though, so all of our equipment gets lifted to the back with our merch and stuff.
It's got dualies in the back. It's got
no dualies. What year is our bus? My bass player's here with me right now. 06 what?
It's a Ford 350.
Ford. It's a Ford E350 or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So your bus is like 23, 24 foot long. It's not so big.
Yeah. It's not huge, but it's a short bus. Yeah.
Right on. Well, I wasn't sure if we had moved on to that. Do you see that in the future? You're going to be pulling in with 3 of these buses, one for your pyrotechnics, one for your stage, one for your groupies.
One day we're going to have big buses. We had a tour we did with Pop Evil right before COVID, and we shared a bus with them. And this bus was massive, biggest bus I've ever been on in my life. And it had 12 bunks in it for sleeping, a back room, a whole kitchen. It was unreal. 3 bands slept on this bus and we traveled. We played at Lambeau Field. Lambeau Field was awesome. We got to play one of the biggest football stadiums in the US. That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. Let's talk about that, some of these achievements, because there's been more than just the top 40, obviously, in my opinion, at least. Right now, you're touring with Nonpoint, right? Is that
not
right?
touring with Nonpoint, but we have a ton of shows with them.
Okay.
We're actually, so we do have a tour lined up towards the end of the year, a pretty, more of a major one, but all the shows we have lined up now is pretty much like our own tour. But we're playing with Nonpoint, we're playing with Hinder, and then we have what was that?
Soil.
And Soil. I don't know if you remember the band Soil.
They sound vaguely familiar.
They had that song, I will stone you, wrap my arms around you. That band.
Yeah.
But Smile Empty Soul, The Lonely Ones, Gemini Syndrome, those are all some more big bands that we're playing with. But most.
Now,
I
are
mean, we
these
got
on
a good handful
on the
of
same
them.
label that you're signed to or something? Is that how you're getting your
So
connections with these people?
we're not on a label. We're independent right now, but we do have a booking agent and an entertainment agent through TKO and Ardent Entertainment, which are huge. Like everyone's on TKO. I mean, Led Zeppelin's on TKO. So I mean, that's awesome.
Well, they're not really doing too much anymore.
Well, no, actually, Robert Plant, believe it or not, I believe Robert Plant's working on a solo album with some female singer right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was not aware. So I guess they are. And that's going to be on TKO as well.
I don't think the rest of them are doing much, but I know he is.
Right. And that is on TKO as well.
Yep.
But
yep.
So where are you getting these? Does your agent then reach out to these?
Yeah, our
bands,
booking agent reaches out to the venues and the bands and does all, that's doing his job. He's pretty much our manager. Like that's what he does.
So how is it that somebody without you've got a manager, but you don't have a record company behind you?
Correct.
How is it that you end up on a top 40? It's kind of, maybe it's a new world, but that's not really heard of too often.
It's really hard to do. A couple things we had to do. We had to create and record an amazing song.
That's a plus.
We have a producer that's
Let's give
Kansas.
a plug to the song. What's the amazing song that got you here?
Yep. So we have a producer that's in Kansas that, is a great producer, and he produced our music, and he did our last single as well, which hit number 54. It hit the top 100. It didn't hit top 40, but it hit number 54. And then this song hit top 40. And then it's just pretty much going with him, taking all of it together, and then, bringing it out to some of these radio stations, and some of them playing them. A lot of them, turn them down. A lot of radio stations turned the song down. They said they didn't like the rapping in it, and that's okay. Like, okay. I get it,
Well, which song? I don't recall any rap.
The With or Without You. It's like I kind of like rap a little bit in like the verses, but it's not like rapping. It's like rock rap almost. Like, so.
Yeah, I didn't catch any rap that I thought of, but I follow.
So I mean, it was just a lot of them said I sounded too white boy rappy, or it is what it is, and there's going to be that out there, which is fine. And so like with that, like people can call into the radio stations, and the more they called in, the more we would get spun because they play it. And then the radio stations saw that certain songs that were on there were doing better. So like they'll go from like a light rotation, and then next week they'll do a medium rotation. We'll get 14 spins that week. And then they go to a heavy, and it'll be like 28 spins. And the more spins you get on a station will determine how high you go in the charts.
And you get paid for those spins too, am I wrong?
So we get paid for the licensing of the song. So like, the band gets paid. I don't get paid. The band gets paid. So like,
well, you take a check through the band.
So the band has pretty much everything together. And then when we get paid, like say we make a bunch of merch and we sell all our merch, that merch that we sold goes right back into making new merch and more merch, and gas for the bus and fixing the bus. Oh, the tires fucking blew, or the engine's blown. Like that money that we make throughout the band goes right back in the band.
So really right now, you're not drawing a paycheck so much as you're reinvesting. Correct. 7 years into
Not
this.
Not yet. Oh, I've been doing this for my entire life, but 7 years hard as a band. Yeah.
Right. How did it feel then, getting the news that you would have to lose your finger? I mean, no one wants to die. This is kind of an easy choice.
When that happened in 2000, when that happened in 2008, I was a drug addict. I was a very bad drug addict, and I didn't care really what was going on in my life at that time. Were
you still playing music or not?
Yeah. I mean, I was doing music and stuff, but I was just not where I'm at today. I've learned a lot from my younger days, and I'm sure everyone has, and I just I struggled with a lot of things when I was growing up. I was in foster care most of my life, and was taken away from my parents and stuff, and I lived a pretty rough upcoming when I was younger. And
can we talk about this at all or not?
Yeah, I mean, you're open to talk about anything you want with me, man.
Well, I wasn't aware. I mean, we haven't even talked at all about anything like this. We only met a few times, a couple of times actually. Detroit got along great, and then I had to run off to the GWC Wrestling Museum.
Oh, that was awesome! I saw the video. That was really cool.
Oh my God, it was so awesome. But it was tough. It's actually, I really didn't know if I wanted to leave. Because I just met you. You had this awesome career, and this awesome story, in my opinion, too, because it's a roller coaster ride. And it's full of triumphs and tribulations, and we're still grinding at it. That's why here's what I like. I kind of feel like if you were a pyramid scheme, maybe I got in at one of the low tiers, So when you are big and fancy rich, living on your private yacht and shit, I can call you up and be like, dude, I want to come up for the weekend, ride your jet skis.
Hey, and you know what? We can do that anytime, bro. As long as you call me out to hang out with you too, man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You, no, I won't get into the schedule. I was about to ask what your schedule was for tattooing, but we'll talk about that later.
I know I will see you at Kansas City.
I'm looking forward to it then. But let's talk about that a bit later, because we'll get into the tattoos. We might as well stay a little bit on point. I'm trying to learn this. Despite the title, I've given myself almost too much leeway, and I'm trying to learn how to keep a conversation in one direction. So hopefully that doesn't piss my listeners off.
Oh, no, I think it's great.
Well, we'll see, if they got used to me one way, who knows? But as a 3-piece band, traveling the country and building fans, and I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? You're very similar to tattooing. You're going to a city, you make a big noise, you get it, hey, look at me. Didn't you have fun? Didn't you like it? Buy some records. And then you hope those fans will cultivate and grow, and
keep going and grow and grow. Yeah. And they have been, man, like big time. Like I've been seeing it. All of our monthly listeners on Spotify and everything have been going up like huge. All of our plays, our playlists, everything. Our fan page is growing. The fan page is Lines of Loyalty, fan page, official fan page on Facebook.
What was the song that you had that hit on the 50? What'd you say? 53?
54. And that was our
54.
first single out. It was called I'm Not the One.
Okay. I heard that one as well. Yeah.
That one's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all the social medias, all that stuff.
What's involved with making these videos?
So pretty much it's renting out a space usually, or getting a space to use, having a song that you want to, do the video for, of course. And then we pretty much usually write out a small storyline.
Okay. That's why I was wondering who was doing that.
So we all kind of contribute in that a little bit, and we come up with a vision, and then we just roll with it, and sometimes some of the stuff makes it, some stuff doesn't, but we just go, we run the song and we run the plays and we just run it through, and then we send it off.
But this isn't an interpreter from like a music director. These are all your own shootings.
Yeah. I mean, we have the people that do the videos with us. Like we have a great videographer right now, Juan Ibanez. He's out of St. Louis. He's amazing. He's doing our next video, which we're about to fly out to LA over the weekend of May 5th through the 8th. We're going to be in LA shooting a new music video out in the desert. It's going to be great.
Is it? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And which is cool because a lot of the direction comes from, the videographer as well. So Juan, he's got a lot of ideas. He had a lot of input on our last video with Or Without You. He definitely stepped up that and like directed us in a good direction for that as well. And he helped us hire in that actress that was in it too. So that was really cool. Her name's Amanda. So it was great, man. It worked well. The first video we did, the I'm Not the One, was a 15-hour shoot.
That's good, isn't it?
But yeah, that's great. I mean, that's a long time for one day, but it was a 15-hour shoot, and this next one we're about to do is pretty much going to be sun up to sundown out in the desert in California.
One day again.
Yep.
Nice. Keeps budget down, right?
I mean, it does, but still it's expensive. It gets pricey.
Well, no, these are all things that I probably shouldn't, but think about them and obsess about these parts. But because you're doing this yourself, because there's not a record company helping you, it's kind of, they're very important.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you were to spend too much on a video, you don't make your money back. You can't afford the gas to get to the city to get your fans.
What's really good too, though, is that being independent and doing this on our own and putting it out there shows the people and shows the labels, and those labels see us, and then they scout us out. So
Yes.
that's
And then
what's good
hopefully
because-
they give you more than 7 points or some kind of
yeah,
poultry.
yeah. But no, like, and I know that we had talks about there were a couple labels kind of looking at us right now too, which is awesome because that's going to help in the long run with a lot of things like videos and radio play and records and stuff like that. So because everything
Once you have the label,
we do on our own.
then white boy rapper is not applied to you so much.
Yeah,
Or white boy rappy, I think it was. Like, no, it's cool, man. RCA says it's cool. It's cool. Man. It's cool.
Yeah. It's great.
Is that a funny part of the industry? I mean, sometimes the industry, do people not know what they like, or does the industry not know what people like? Or
it's a lot of politics, man. I mean, it's hard. Like there's so many ways it could go, you know, and it's really hard to tell because there's so much going on. Like there's things that like media base and stuff like that. Like media base is reported through a computer system through a radio station that plays it. So every time it's played through something, it gets reported.
What is media base? Okay.
And media base is pretty much runs to the billboards, and you know what the billboards are, right? The top songs in the country,
charts.
pretty much.
Like
the
what I keep on seeing is the best metric for your success right now is hitting the top 40.
Yeah. I mean, we hit.
Am I wrong? Casey
40.
Kasem's he's gonna be talking about you, man.
He could. He very well could. Yeah.
And on that dog's tail was a bee. That bee is now known as Lines of Loyalty. Here they are with their next hit single.
Oh, that's great. That's so great. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I thought it wasn't a bad impersonation. Ironically, I cannot do Shaggy.
That was good though. I liked it.
Casey Kasem. God bless. Do you remember Casey Kasem? You're a young kid.
I do remember Casey Kasem. I'm not that young. I'm
How old are you?
I am 38.
You've got the back of a 62-year-old, but you're still pretty young. does not, and nobody on set wants to say, hey man, stand up a little bit straighter. Go ahead. You're like 6'2", 6'3", right? But I swear we talk eye level. Okay. Well, that would make sense. We talk eye level because I'm 5'11" too.
Yeah.
You got the same. Is it tattooing or what is giving you your posture?
Both. I mean, tattooing and
music with a low guitar strap. It just looks so cool, huh?
Playing acoustic a lot, like sitting down, hunched over a lot, you know. But I've been working a lot of my posture.
Right.
Actually, my ladies got me working out a lot more too. So I've been doing that and keeping up with that and doing shoulders and back and stuff, which is something I'm not used to, which is different, but it's cool.
That was one of my questions is what is the rock and roll workout? Jack Black has an opinion of it, but I wasn't sure if yours was the same.
Cock push-ups. I mean, if that's what you're referring to. You can only do one.
Yeah. I guess it is that you're not gaining 40 pounds. You're going to keep it svelte, huh? You don't.
Well, believe it or not, I used to weigh 265 pounds.
Right. I wouldn't believe that. Well, I mean, I do. You've just told me it.
Past couple of years, I went on a very strict diet, and I am now down to 163, and I'm the best shape of my life right now.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just literally from pretty much diet change. I don't do dairy, really. I don't do meat. I don't do gluten, really. It's just pretty much veggies, fruits, grains, nuts, berries, fish.
Nothing
seafood.
with a shadow.
Hey, seafood has shadows.
Okay, right on. Yeah, if you were 265, right?
Yep.
Is that what you say? Good
Yep.
Lord. And were you addicted at that same time, or did you kind of gain weight after you quit your addiction?
So pretty much, so I've got 10 years of no hard drugs now. I just celebrated March 17th was 10 years, and I don't think that it was bad that I went through all of that stuff. I actually think I learned a lot from it. But when I did quit, I resorted to food.
Okay, yeah.
Like
you replaced one addiction with the other.
Yeah, like bad food. So like I was drinking sodas every day, just like double quarter pounders, cheese, extra bacon, extra everything. Like it was bad. Like it was just horrible. And me and my band were like, one day we're like, we all have a goal weight we want to reach and want to look good, and we fucking did it and exceeded it. My goal weight was 185, and now I'm down to 163.
Awesome. What were your other guys, your bandmates were getting bigger too?
Well, my bass player was getting a little bigger too. He works at Burger King. He's a manager for Burger King.
Okay.
But
I'm like envisioning you guys having a Groupon for Jenny Craig or something, right?
Yeah,
now.
I mean, but no, my drummer's always been in shape. He's always been in shape. He never really had a problem, but he did become a vegan, and he got a lot healthier. Tightened everything up and stuff like that too. And then me and my bass player pretty much went on the same path, and now we're all in the best shapes of our lives,
Right on, fighting weight.
Yeah.
So we can expect you in the ring sometime soon?
I don't know, after this knuckle thing. Yeah.
Maybe not, huh? What'd you do with your knuckle?
So we recently played a show. We rocked out. We were celebrating, having a good time. Good night. And those punching bag machines at the bars?
Yeah, I know exactly.
So,
you don't need
Yeah, I punched it, and we were doing great, and I was winning, and then my bass player was beating me, so I had to beat him, and I punched it, and I lost my footing, and after I punched it and lost my footing, I hit the back hard plastic of it with my knuckle, and yeah, it was not good.
Those things take out. I'm always amazed they last, because it seems to me they either cause a fight, they break a hand by the end of the night.
I mean, you're a big dude, so I would imagine if you hit that thing, you hit it pretty damn hard, especially.
Oh no, you'd be surprised. I'm not a good puncher. I take most of my I'm best with my blocking. I block most punches with my face. But
okay.
As a result, my face is really hardened up. So I got that going for me, I guess. But
me, on the other hand, my face didn't hold up so well. I got beat up real bad when I was younger and robbed at a stoplight. Broke a lot of my face. Yeah.
Well, let's start and get us onto that path. This is younger before you were in the band that you're in currently.
Correct.
Okay, but let's go back. You say you were in several foster homes. Was that here in Michigan?
Nope. It's most of my life was in Wisconsin. And I just
Kenosha. I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, I most of my life I was in foster care from when I was about 7 years old.
Good Lord.
My dad left when I was 2. I was born in Los Angeles, and my dad left when I was 2. My mom moved here, and then I was with her for a little bit, and then got put in the foster care till I was about 16. And through those years, I became, a drug addict, and probably not the greatest teen.
Well, the foster care system is generally riddled with, it's fucked, right?
Yeah,
were you treated decent at least?
Most of the beginning ones were not fun for me for most of it, but from when I was about 13 to 16, I did have a family that was very nice to me and that helped me, but I was still rebellious and I was not a good kid, but I knew that they cared,
Right. For one of the first times, probably you started to have a real sense of
a little bit, yeah.
Man, but that's not much.
No.
Do you think that caused you to be an artist as you are, though?
Definitely. And I really feel that, I feel that music and art pretty much saved my life.
I follow.
Yeah.
Well, how I guess, but how? What choices were you going to make instead?
If I wasn't doing music and art, I'd probably be doing drugs. So.
But you were doing drugs. Were you doing drugs while you were doing music still?
Yeah, but it just wasn't as good as what I'm doing now.
Oh, the drugs?
the music.
Yeah, I got some really good stuff, man. No. Well, I'm figuring you're dedicated more now, but at one point, sex, drugs, and rock and roll are pretty predominant in rock and roll.
Yeah.
So it seems like they almost go hand in hand. And it's a real easy path to get down of addiction, rather than waiting until you're really good and then getting addiction.
Yeah, I took the drugs, a lot of it, to just numb my pain and numb my problems with my life. and try to forget things and not remember it and not like think about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I found
Have
other
you
ways
ever?
to like,
Mhm.
get rid of that frustration. I pretty much, went into creating art and creating music out of those problems.
What kind of tattoo style do you like to do?
My favorite tattoo style, I love doing like black and gray animal portraits with like crazy color shapes around them. Like that's kind of what I love to do if I could do it all the time.
Like
But I mean, I do
a light blue or a red or something like that, a circle or a
anything really.
triangle.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything.
Why do you
Um,
find the what do you why do you like the triangle, the shape?
I like shapes in general, mainly because just like I like sacred geometry a lot. I study it a lot, like just the sacredness of it and like just the understanding of what shapes are and how they pretty much like make everything,
Okay.
I know it's fascinating to me.
But so then the shape, does it help you transition to the skin as well, or is it something that you actually have to work into? Is it like almost harder because you're using it?
I don't know. I like doing it. Doesn't seem too like difficult for me. I just like putting shapes in the, spots. Like I like doing art that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like just when you put it together.
I always wish I could. I always wish I could wrap my head around that better. My I if I attempt that, I pretty much have to follow somebody else's layup,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't have a purpose for it, and I just to me I'm just throwing a shape at it, and I don't have maybe the love, I guess, for sacred geometry, and maybe that's where it comes from. But I
Yeah.
do see that sometimes it really seems to help because it'll give you a defining border sometimes,
Yeah.
so you can control the space around you. A lot of times you got to make a background or
Yep.
be absent the background. But
Yeah.
in this case, you could I don't know, define the contrast with the color easy.
Definitely.
After as you're going through foster care, how many foster homes do you figure you were in?
Well, from when I was like 7 till about 12 and a half, I was in a good dozen, maybe
God,
15.
right on. That's the worst part, right? Am I wrong? Maybe not the worst
I
part.
mean,
I'm
it was
guessing
just
that's
shitty
one of
because
the
it was like,
overall.
it was just shitty because I was so young and not knowing what was going on and
Yeah,
just
there's
like
no
being lost
routine.
into
It
a
keeps
house.
changing.
Yeah. It was
So,
different.
but when you get your routine, you're going to rebel against it, but yet you can still tell that they love you. Do you think you were rebelling kind of to because you needed to feel the love? You know what I mean? Like the love might have been there, but you had to almost test it to know it was
I
because of
guess
your.
maybe I could see that.
Okay, I'm reaching here now. I should quit
Oh no,
playing
yeah,
armchair psychologist. Do
yeah,
you work with a
you're good.
psychologist?
What was that?
Do you work with a psychologist?
I do not. When I was younger, I had to. I was on
Mhm.
medications and stuff, but I don't believe in medications. I believe in natural herbs and stuff like that.
Do you think it messed you up a bit and
I
maybe
I
actually
kind of
slowed you
do, yeah.
down?
I
Mhm.
think it kind of I think when I was taking it, it made me not feel normal, I guess.
But you've done all this, even losing the weight without the help of a psychologist or therapist. Were there programs or something?
I just do music and art. Like
Dude,
that.
no NA?
Well, I mean, in the beginning, like
Okay.
when I first got sober, I did a lot of meetings for like drinking
Okay.
and drugs for a little bit. Um, but once I found that I could control it and I was just like, I don't need it, I just converted to art and music more and just like focused all my energy on all the good things. Like there was no need to go anywhere else with it.
That's extremely impressive.
Thank you.
I mean, really, like to lose the weight, to to beat the addiction. I'm not that I'm saying you did that by yourself,
Yeah.
but these are changes that you're able to apply. I figured at one point you must have sat down with like a life coach or something, started to iron this stuff out.
I did have a sponsor who helped me in the beginning to stop drinking when I stopped drinking. I drink now, of course, but not like I used to. Like when I drank before.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I drank before, I fucking used to just drink just to get fucked up. Now when I drink, I just drink to socialize or just for a toast or for, just to hang out or whatever. I'm not like drinking to get fucked up. I don't do anything to mess up my body. I'll do it as more of a celebration thing or something, but like I don't. Back then, I used to just drink to get fucking annihilated and didn't care what happened. But I had a sponsor. I had a sponsor who helped me with that a lot, and he recently passed away this year.
I'm sorry,
but he was a good dude, and he helped me through a lot of shit, and he helped me realize, like, there was one thing that he told me, and he said, just know that there is nothing that God will put in front of you that you can't do.
I guess I like that better than God won't give you anything you can't handle.
Well, same, pretty much same thing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that have died that you're like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess they couldn't handle it. Like, let's be honest.
I do get that, but I do also get like everything, I believe everything happens for a reason. So,
okay.
however things go is, whether they go good or bad, like it's no matter what, you're going to get through it somehow. So.
And with you use that faith to help you get through it then.
Yeah, a lot.
So what's happened to you then was so that you could have this art and this prolific share, like because you're sharing so much of it. You must be channeling. Excuse me. You must be channeling quite a bit. You lost this weight, made a complete diet change. You quit drinking abusively.
Yeah.
That's all. It's all indicative of using that very well. Your music and your art. I'm kind of blown away. I'm really inspired by that.
Thanks,
I don't
man.
know what to say, I guess.
I really appreciate
I expected
that.
a lot of NA questions and how long were you in this and what's your Jenny Craig? Well, I didn't know about your weight loss.
Yeah.
Where does the music come from then? Some of these are relationship ones, are they not? So
the music, a lot of music that people write is stuff that you go through. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of the stuff that we're writing now is stuff that, either I've gone through, I've seen, or my bass player writes half of the stuff as well. Like he writes a big majority. So me and him put our minds together. I mean, he's had his fucking heart ripped out into a million pieces, and so
is that good for the band?
Material. Huh?
It's good for the band.
Yeah.
You never purposely destroy his relationships just to have a better song next time, do you?
Our drummer might.
Fucking drummers, man. Not only are they always using you don't need to take my knife, every time you're sitting down at the Denny's and then they got to pick up something, the chopsticks. I don't like eating sushi with drummers. I mean, not that they're bad people, but they got that energy that just keeps coming on. Tap, 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 tap. Like, man,
always tapping on stuff.
Yes. I wanted to talk more about, I guess, your upbringing.
Yeah.
Because but not really your upbringing. I wanted to talk more about the moments when you recognized the needs for change and the process, the things you started to implement. You know what I mean? So like there had to be almost a checklist or something of like, well, I don't want this anymore because of this.
I was married twice. And the first time I got married, I had a child. I have a little girl. I have a daughter. I have two daughters now. but I had a daughter, and my wife cheated on me, and I had to raise my little girl, and I needed to straighten my shit out. So I did. That was my biggest, I think, motivation out of all of it was having
when your daughter was born, then your second daughter or your first?
my first daughter. My first daughter is when I got sober.
Right on. You were no longer living just for yourself.
Correct.
Was it? I wonder if that. So you have to have a desire for family, right? I mean, it can't be wrong, right? You have a desire to be needed and to be looked after. So when you have a daughter, that is a big change for you then, right? You're able to actually answer some of the emotional needs that you've needed your whole life by providing them for someone else. No.
Yep.
Oh, come on, man. Yep. This is podcast.
So sorry, but I mean, you answered that pretty well.
Right on. I need to figure better questions.
So I was going to say, so that started that, and then she cheated on me, and we got a divorce, and then I had another child, another little girl, and got remarried. And that second marriage was pretty bad. It was very abusive to me. I love both of my kids very much. And my oldest daughter, I'll just briefly go over this, was recently diagnosed with kidney disease.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear, man.
And is
she gonna have to be on a dialysis?
So right now, there's a GoFundMe on Facebook on my page pinned to the top, pretty much, that anyone can go to and donate. But it's for testing that she has to get done in Minnesota to find out the next steps of what's going to happen, because she has multiple infections and cysts on both kidneys. So eventually both of them will need to be removed, and she will need a kidney transplant, which I have to go and get an ultrasound as well to make sure if I can, give her one of my kidneys. I will.
Yours.
Yeah. So
now you feel bad about how you treated them back in the day.
Well,
you're like, I'm glad it's not a liver, though.
Yeah. Well, now that I don't do a ton of drugs and everything, I hopefully they, rejuvenated and got a lot better. So yes, I that's kind of what's been going on in my world on top of music and tattooing.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I was thinking I wanted to edit out a lot of that, because I was like, man, Kyle, you shouldn't have him talking about his family like that. But well, I feel like it's got to be a part of a source of your art.
Yeah, and I can tell you one thing. One of my biggest supporters is my future wife, who is sitting next to me. And I proposed to her on Valentine's Day on the radio.
And she said no, yes?
She said yes. But she had no idea what was going on. She was a little confused.
Oh, she was in the studio with you?
I was doing a radio interview for our new single, and I pulled out the ring and got on my knee, and she's like, "What is going on right now?" And I can tell you this, she is the biggest supporter of me. She is the biggest help of me, and I wish nothing.
She has to be. Now, she couldn't say no. You forced her hand. You put her on. Hey, honey, hundreds of thousands of people are listening right now. Don't say no.
No, but I support her 100% too, though. Like, she just got fully certified for doing eyebrows, lips, and eyeliner and permanent cosmetics, and she went with our friend Cara, with Liz Cook and all them, with Ever After, and they're, she's learned a lot from them. And they're
artist and permanent cosmetic artist.
Yeah,
Liz
and they're
Cook.
all great people. They're all great people too.
Ever After in Texas, but worldwide. They come to you. Does she tattoo at the shows that you tattoo at them?
She's gonna be at Kansas City with us. We're all got a booth together, me, her, Cara, and Spot On Beauty, and I believe Ever After is gonna sponsor Cara's booth too.
Oh, fun. Right on.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not exactly sure, but she was talking about that. So
how long you guys been together?
So it has been a little over eight months. Yep, 8 months now.
Oh, it's still kind of fresh, huh?
Yep.
You guys,
but I knew the second
love.
I met her. I knew the second I met her, I was going to marry her.
We met her too. She seems very level-headed, and I guess I don't know you from before. Like you're describing a whole different person than I've met.
Well, I met you. I met you in Chicago before I got sober, I think, a long time ago. And it was you and who else was it? Rad Ink. He messed up his
Robbie
leg really bad.
RuPaul.
Robbie, yep. And you and Robbie, and I got a picture. Me and my drummer were playing acoustic and the drum in the lobby in the hotel.
Okay.
And you guys walked past, and we got a picture with you. And I got it somewhere in my Facebook somewhere, but that was the first time I met you. And you were kind then, and you were a nice guy. And you said, "Hey, nice to meet you." We didn't talk much, but we shook hands, and that was about it. So
well, that's a lesson to anybody too. Then, man, like those people that you're walking past, playing in this, busking in the streets, even sometimes.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, that's, to me, there's a huge respect for that. If you can go and get gigs, that's really cool too. But if you can just go and take your acoustic guitar and make enough money to eat, maybe even pay a little rent, then man, that's awesome.
Well, before all this band stuff, I was doing solo acoustic stuff, and I was traveling the whole US, doing my own shows, booking my own stuff, playing everywhere, playing outside, playing for whatever, whenever. When I was 18, I was homeless in Florida for a few months, and I played guitar to make money and took a bus ticket back.
How you end up in Florida at 18 and homeless?
When I was 18, I was living with my stepdad and my mom for a little bit, and I moved in with them. And I was with them for a little while.
So you reconnected with your mom then?
My mom, a little, when I was a teenager, just for a little bit, which was great. And I have a great connection with my mom now, and I know the past is the past and things happen and whatever.
Well, and, she had to be going through something. I can't ever imagine that the choice to let anybody have is made without a lot of duress, like there's stress, there's, and I don't know. I think people sometimes belittle that thought. But I don't ever mean to stand in judgment of somebody who's had to be I'm not in those shoes. And I hope that obviously for you to be as level-headed as you are, then you've also had to find that forgiveness and that understanding then too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was mad at my mom for a long time when I was younger. I was very mad, and but that was nor here or there. I mean, now, I respect my mom because she's my mom. You get one of them,
Yeah. And how's she doing now?
She's doing okay. She's not doing bad. Been getting her to eat healthier just because she drinks so much damn soda and smokes cigarettes all day. Like, I just try to not have her do that so much, and, but you can't, I'm not going to force her to do anything. I mean, but no,
it's impossible. It's impossible. Fighting the diet. Or any of that stuff. And you have a strength that's beyond other people's for changing. So, you know what I mean? So as you say things, it may seem easy to you, and to somebody else, it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It almost makes it seem like your judgment then makes it harder for them to quit. Do you ever? I feel that.
I feel that. I can hear you there. Getting back to when I was 18 and became homeless really quick.
Yes.
I was actually living with my stepdad and my mom, and when I was younger, my stepdad was not the nicest to me nor my mom. But as I got older, when I was a teenager, when I turned 18, he was messing around with me, and he was a little drunk, and he pushed me around, and I didn't want to take it, and I clenched a fist with the fist filler, and I knocked him out. And then he sat up and said, "Get the hell out of my house." And I left, and I went with a friend in Florida who said get a job for us. And I had my guitar, my duffel bag, and my backpack. And I went there with them, and we were down by Pensacola Beach, and I was playing guitar. He was walking around. He's like, "I'll meet you back here." Hours and hours go by. My bags were where his car was, and I was alone. 18 years old, didn't know anybody.
No, he had your bags and everything too?
It was just my duffel bag, and I had my backpack and my guitar, and that was it. Like, that was my life that I had with me. So
that's the excuse that people walk up to you on the street with, you know what I mean? And you're just like, yeah, sure. Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I was 18 years old and I didn't know anyone and I was stranded, and that was that. He left and left my shit there.
So after 6 hours, 7 hours, it starts to really dawn on you, right?
Oh, it
You,
sunk
you
in
don't have a
real
cell
hard. When
phone.
when the beach, I didn't even have a cell phone. No, none of that back then. Um, and yeah, I had my backpack with I think some weed in it and my guitar, and then I had my duffel bag with my clothes, and that was it. And I played for a few months, made some money, and took a bus ticket back. And my stepdad
Like that
apologized to me.
first night, even you played
Huh?
that first night, even
Oh,
right?
I played the whole night I was there, and then when I noticed people started disappearing, I went to the car and it was not there.
Oh, you were already planning on busking out, like
Yeah,
while you
that's what
were
I was
out there.
doing, and we were gonna
Okay.
meet back up, and I went to meet back up, and he was not there.
Have you ever
Yeah.
talked to him again?
I never seen him since 20
Right
years
on.
20 years ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh, I hope he gets to hear about your rise to fame.
yeah, that'd be great.
Would he remember your name?
I'm pretty sure he left me in Florida, and it's
Right.
someone that I knew. So,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that would be nice.
Yeah,
Another reason to hit number 5, number
yeah,
2,
that'd even
number
fight
1.
number one, man. Listen,
Make a
I
song about him.
I met Yellow Wolf in Philly at a
Uh-huh.
Philly convention. Did you go to that one when Yellow Wolf
Yeah, I
was there?
did. Yep. I
So
didn't get to meet him.
I got to meet him. I got pictures with him and stuff, and I got his bottle of whiskey, his Creek water.
Yeah.
And I had him sign it. And I told myself if I get a number 1 song, I'll open it.
Well, right on. You got
But I'd
I
like
hope
to
it's
open it
good.
and drink it with him. That would be cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
What's really cool is he's actually where I'm going to shoot my video in LA at the desert. He shot a
Uh-huh.
video there.
Oh, right on.
Where I'm going. A lot of people did. Wiz Khalifa did. Papa Roach did.
Do you guys do collaborations and stuff like that? That seems to be the thing that the kids do nowadays. Would
We
you try
definitely
and
can. I do. So besides the band, I make a lot of beats and do a lot of hip hop stuff too. And I perform with other artists as well. So like I do a lot of side stuff.
I figured is you have to keep your mind off of wanting to eat or drink.
Yeah. I keep my mind busy.
Yeah, I don't know if I could, but it's tough. Changing your diet is tough, especially when you're going from town to town.
Yeah.
When you're a vegetarian somewhere in Kansas.
Yep.
I've probably stayed too long and said too much, so I should probably start wrapping up. Well, I guess actually that's my call sign of some stupid sorts, but I should probably start wrapping this up and letting you get back to your life there, man. I really appreciate you letting me talk with you.
Hey,
Is
I
there
appreciate
anything that
you,
you
man.
would like to plug?
What was that?
No problem. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I mean my band page on Facebook is Lines of Loyalty. The Instagram is Lines of Loyalty, and then the TikTok is also Lines of Loyalty. And then there's a fan page called Lines of Loyalty official fan page on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then we have a website that's www.linesofloyalty.com.
There is a GoFundMe. Please mention that as well.
Yeah, the GoFundMe for my daughter, I appreciate that, is on my Facebook. It's pinned to the top, Glenn Nubz Morrison on Facebook, and it's the very first thing on the top of my page. I really do appreciate that. And then, like I said, all of our music and everything you can find Lines of Loyalty on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Amazon, you name it. It's on all of that. YouTube.
And it's good. It is good.
Thank you.
You guys do a really good job.
That.
I mean, I was excited to meet you. I figured you must have a top 40 hit is a good metric. And somebody had told me that right as we were meeting. But
nice.
you don't know how you're going to feel and I thought meeting you, I thought it was just going to be some like death shit, just like grindcore.
Because of my appearance, right? The dreadlocks and the tattoos and the gold fangs. Yeah, I get it.
Sorry for judging you, brother.
It's all good, man.
But I was pleasantly surprised. Not that grindcore is so bad for me, but I'm older now and I can. It's hard to be so angry.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks for talking with me, Nubs, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon, I hope.
All right, bro. Sounds good, man.
Oh, hey, how did
Yeah.
people get a tattoo from you?
That is my Instagram, Nubz Tattoos, NUBZ _ tattoos. And all my work's on there. You can also find it on Facebook as well under Nubz Tattoos. They're both on and the TikTok. So all social media, same thing.
Right on. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you,
We'll
man.
talk to you again. No problem. Take care, brother.
All right, bro. Sounds good.